was a scene with Lakeith Stanfield
Danny Glover.
and Danny Glover in the movie Sorry to Bother You, man. And I remember when I first heard that dialogue, I was thinking, oh shit, they just snapped on Will Smith. And
but the whole thing is that's not white. That's just proper. That's what the whole line is. It's just
that's what it means, right? Put it in context.
So in this is Danny Glover giving some advice to Lakeith Stanfield, who's playing Cassius, and he's saying, that you got to use this white voice, which is not just speaking proper. That's what the whole Will Smith line. He's like, well, I'm not talking about Will Smith white. That's not white. That's just proper. And he says it's this thing that white people don't even sound like. It's what they wish they sounded like and what they think they're supposed to sound like. That's really a performance of whiteness that. And we're all performing something. Like, I don't care whether you got something in your head. This is how my uncle would say this or whatever. We're performing something, but the question is why. And in this, it's saying that the performance of whiteness is like almost a reaction to like or a response to the black racist tropes, the racist black tropes about black folks, which is like, oh, black folks are lazy. Their culture is not sufficient to survive. They don't want to learn. They got broken families and all that. And really, all of those things those racist ideas have a utility, and that's to say that's to blame poverty on the impoverished, saying that, oh, it's all from bad choices, and because in reality this system has to have poverty. We can't have capitalism without poverty. Exactly. You cannot have full employment under capitalism. Otherwise, y'all could tell Sirius, hey, we want $1 million per minute. You know what? There's nobody to replace us because everybody got a job.
Yeah.
So you'll see the Wall Street Journal worrying when the unemployment rate goes low, because it means that always that wages go up and stocks go down. And so how do you explain? So instead of explaining that poverty is part of capitalism and that people are poor because of the system we're in, they explain to the white working class, which is in this country, most of the working class, that how do you explain to them, oh, you might not have as much money as you want, and it's because of your bad decisions. You don't. You point at people of color and you say, look at them making all these bad decisions. You don't want to be like that. Then you end up being a white dude making $22,000 a year, thinking that you're middle class, right? Thinking that you're and align with the ruling class, and align and instead of other people that are fighting similar things. So that's what that whole thing is about. I don't say all of that in the movie, but
that's Bruce Riley, ladies and gentlemen, wrote and directed. It's his directorial debut. What an amazing piece of work you put together. It's like I'm really a big fan of jigsaw puzzles because they take a whole lot of time to piece together. Yeah, and I like that in my movies too. When I watch a movie, I don't want to be able to guess anything.
I hate that.
Yeah, right?
I hate that. Whatever you do, don't put on that red hat. Hey, I heard you're not supposed to put on the red hat. Hey, have you heard the legend of the red hat? And then the dude gets locked in the room with the red hat, and you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I wanted something where people didn't know what was going to happen, and they didn't know, like in the heist movie when they have the when they have the team building montage and they just got the mechanic together and all that. Then you're like, okay, now it's going to be a lull until they have that first snafu, so I could go to the bathroom now. So there's no bathroom breaks in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Well, now that it's on digital download, you could pause it, but just watch it instead of pausing it.
I think the dynamic with Danny Glover's character and Lakeith Stanfield's character working for this telemarketer and learning how to, navigate that system in order to come up in the game, and then he eventually starts to rise. It seemed like it draws a lot of parallels to entertainment in general. Even you as a filmmaker, how did you have to adjust, if at all, to even to get this film made?
Well, I mean, I've had to do that kind of thing in life, but I've kind of positioned myself where I don't necessarily have to. I mean, you still walk into a room and you want, that people have racist ideas, and you maybe subconsciously are like, I'm safe, that sort of thing. But yeah, you know what? The main way that I made this happen is it took like 7 years.
Yeah.
For me to get it funded and made and just little by little, but yeah, I didn't. You know, I think the way that we've always been is it's so different, so out there that you're signing up for what you're signing up for, and with me as well. Like, you know, there's no like, oh, he's almost like this other person. If only he could act a little more like this, then he'd have it perfect. Same thing with this movie. There was no like, let's adjust this a little bit so that we can. Well,
did people try to make you? Did people suggest you adjust it at all?
Well, let's say this: whenever you're making art,
yeah.
you know, for me, I accept criticism, and I work through that and take notes and all that kind of stuff. And I went through the Sundance Writers Lab and then the Sundance Directors Lab. Wow. So there's critiques that you have, but there's the critiques that come from other artists, which is about the art, and then there's critiques that sometimes can come from investors who are just more operating out of fear. Like any business, often the investor is like, okay, yeah, I want to do something bold, but I don't want to be too bold. I don't want, I don't want, they want something safe, but they want the glory of being bold.
Okay.
And you can't
you can't have them both.
You can't, and so you'll get those sorts of things, but luckily we had some of the lead producers, Nina Yang, Bon Jovi, and Forrest Whitaker, and they had most of the money behind them. And what I found out later is that Nina just told her investors, "Look, I made you money on Dope and Fruitvale Station and Roxanne, so don't read the script.
Just let it.
Just trust me."
Okay. Trust me, man, we got Boots Riley here, man. This dude is an icon now from where we're from, the city of Oakland. We got Tristan on the line. What up, Tristan?
Hey, Tristan.
Tristan, are you there?
Is that Tristan from Oakland High?
Is it? Tristan.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Tristan? Tristan from Oakland High?
How you doing, man? Yeah, Tristan from Oakland High, man.
What's up, man?
Jeez, reunion.
Wow.
Ohio players in the house. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's happening?
Wildcats.
Yeah.
Hey, see, we're all from Oakland.
Yeah, we all went to Oakland High.
We all went to Oakland High. Boots and I grew up in the same neighborhood. Tristan, where'd you grow up? What block you grew up on?
I was Fruitvale.
On Fruitvale.
Wow.
I went to. Me and Tristan were on a track team together.
Yeah, track team, man. Yeah, it was way back. That was some good times.
Good times.
I just wanted to
People
call.
want to hear about
Coach Ponus.
Oh yeah.
Wow, who
Yeah,
was
Ponus.
fast?
It was Ponus and Oyang.
Coach Doug Oyang. Hey, Tristan, I saw Doug Oyang maybe about a month ago over on Lakeshore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's still out there. I didn't realize he wasn't that much older than us, but you know, when you're a teenager, somebody 22, they old.
Double.
Right.
You know?
That's wild.
Yeah, and I had Miss Nakauwe. I had Miss Nakauwe for English too. Remember Miss Nakauwe?
Yeah.
Yo, I always talk about Miss Nakauwe because Japanese woman who used to make us sit down. You had to be in class five minutes early.
Yeah.
And then she'd make you pick up your
book. You
book.
had to have your elbows on the desk, and then have the book like only a few inches from your face.
Yeah.
And you can't move. You can't move your feet.
Yeah.
And so I ended up reading. That's how I read. That's how I read. Started reading a lot of books.
Through Miss Nakauwe.
Yeah.
Wow. I think the first completed book was like Clan of the Cave Bear from front to back, and Miss Nakauwe. Tristan, what's up, man? Are you proud of Boots?
Man, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Boots, man. The whole city of Oakland is proud of Boots, and I just wanted to extend a extreme thank you to him because I was in the screening and he put me all up and through that movie as an extra. and I'm sitting there looking at myself. If you were extra,
we used you a lot.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, bro, because I'm sitting there like just bigging up myself. Yeah, I know Ray from back in the day, and I'm all up through the movie and so on and so forth, and they don't believe me until they see it. But it's great. I mean, I'm so proud to be a part of that whole process and to see how things are made and to see him from where we came up to where he is now, and it's just the sky's the limit for this cat, and we are so proud of him. I just wanted to just call in and just show my appreciation and just extreme love.
Thank you, man.
Everything that he's doing.
Thank you.
Always say I
always say that, and I tell folk, Boots is you. To me, you were always on a different frequency. It was always something that You didn't reform. You know,
I was a nerd.
I didn't see you as a nerd. We didn't see you as a
No,
nerd.
Okay.
Free spirit.
Yes, he was a nerd. I remember those.
Oh, he wasn't Christian like hey man, I thought. Nah,
But see, when you get a little, when you're a teenager, you're like, okay, I'm a nerd. Oh man, I can't do this. I'm doing this weird. But then you get a few years older, and then you start being able to be the cool one with those same things that you were doing.
Then you become eccentric.
Yeah.
And distinguished,
Yes.
right? But I always thought, man, that dude got something brewing, you know, and definitely even from the days from the cool and to now, man, he's in activism has always been something brewing. Hey, Tristan, you doing well?
Oh yeah, great.
All right.
I still bump Fat Cats and Bigger Fish, man, to this day.
That's what's up, man.
Oh
Hey,
man, thank you.
Tristan, you're a citizen.
Sweet on it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All
We're
right.
gonna take more of your phone calls. 888-742-3345. Boots Riley is here. Sorry to Bother You is now out on DVD and Blu-ray on October 23rd. Right.
It's on iTunes, Amazon, all that, anything, right now though.
Okay, make sure y'all check that out, all right? Call him up, 888-742-3345. Turn that up, man. Let's take him to the town right now. Sway in the morning. What? Me and this man shared the same English teacher, Miss Nakauwi. Shout out to Miss Nakauwi, the writer and director of Sorry to Bother You, which is out now. So far, this was what was the budget? Like $3 million or something?
It was 3.6 million.
And it's grossed how much so far?
It's at almost 18 right now. U.S. domestic, but then it's about to come out in Europe right now.
Wow, it's gonna kill it.
What kind of reaction as you travel the world has there been similar reactions from the audience or
yeah, I mean we premiered it and we did it at the Hong Kong festival, and I was just in London at the premiere a couple days ago, and yeah, I was like wondering would it translate, because there's certain things, there's just language, like when there's a part where they go get a room, like do they have a word? Do they have a phrase for that? Like in Cantonese, that means the same thing. I don't know, but
that's the part where when Lakeith's character is in his garage about to make love.
And the garage opens. That's on the trailer. Yeah, and then and then London, I didn't know, like, does the situation translate? But it seems like it does.
Yeah. Well,
you know, like I'm sitting there with them, and people are laughing at all the same parts we're laughing at here.
That's what's up. Boots Riley, ladies and gentlemen.
Boots, going back to earlier when we were talking about how, like, some of the investors are like, okay, let's go bold, but can we also do safe?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And we didn't have that in this, but definitely there are people that didn't come on board with us that basically that's what.
I'm wondering if you can give some advice to creatives, to artists who oftentimes feel in combat with investors. You know, sometimes we'll just like weigh them off as suits, and they're not really. They don't care. Not everyone, but some aren't looking for the creative value as much as they're just focused on the numbers, and that can be offensive to like the artist. How do you find that medium where you can respect the business side and also your heart?
Well, yeah, I kind of have always like for instance, we didn't move to LA. We just toured around. I'm on the music side, for instance. We just toured around and got directly to the people we wanted to get to, so that when we did end up going through LA, which I'm saying is like the industry.
Yes.
It was kind of like they needed to come to us to get to the people. It wasn't like we came and we were like, can y'all hook us up? So, and that did make for tough times, because you have to battle it out on your own, trying to survive, but then you get to a place where people have to go through you to get to your fans or whatever. So I don't have a real answer for that, but I would say that I knew I was going to keep making whatever I was going to make, whether people got on board or not. And that's the thing. And that's, that's kind of the attitude. Like, this is happening. I'm going to make this happen. I don't know if it's going to be, a gigantic thing, which it can be if you're on board with me funding this, or it could be a small thing that if I do it myself, that's what it'll be. But this is happening. You in the party or you staying outside?
Got you.
Boots Riley, sorry to bother you. That's the movie. Mandy's on the line from Houston. What up, Mandy? How you doing?
Hey, Mandy.
I'm good. How are y'all? Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's Boots. So I saw the movie with my daughter. We really enjoyed it. But I have to say, I got a little confused at the end. I know you didn't call them centaurs. I forgot what you called them.
I would like to not.
breaking-
I would like to. I would like to talk about it without spoiling. So we will talk about this without spoiling. But
Okay.
I will say this, that there's things that happen because I want people to see it for themselves, and a big part of this is people, like we said, not knowing exactly what's like is like life. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But what I have happening in this movie is I want people to feel the same things that Cassius is going through. I don't want people to just know that he's going through something and be empathetic with it. I'm trying to get people viscerally involved in what's happening on the screen. So there are things that I do visually, like some things you can see in the trailer, for instance, where when he's on the phone, I don't just have him be on the phone and say, I feel like I'm invading people's homes or whatever. I could do that through dialogue, but we show him crashing into people's homes. There's other things when we see his world change, like the actual furniture changes and it breaks apart and grows and stuff like that. So I'm doing things, everything I do in this movie is something that I feel that we need to feel along with the character, and that the character needed to go through to understand something about himself.
Does that help you, Mandy?
That does. That actually really does help. So thank you for even breaking that down.
Okay. Hey, Mandy, you're a citizen.
That's way in the morning.
And now what you could do is buy the DVD or the Blu-ray, and then
Or buy a download or tell people about it, whatever, if you already seen it.
Yeah. And then
Throw a party
and watch it again, and you could break it down like he just did.
Nice.
All right? Okay, we're going to take one last caller. Deontay, what up?
Deontay.
Hey, what's going on, Sway? What's going on, Tracy G? Boots, what's happening, man?
What's happening?
Dr. Blue's son, man. How you doing?
What's happening? What's going on?
Who was it?
Hey, man, I just wanted to
Dr.
call and
Blues.
congratulate you, man, on all your success, man. I'm glad to see you doing it good, man. I still remember that first time I met you when I was a youngin', and you and Pops was just jamming out to y'all music, man.
Yeah, man. I've been doing it a long time. I'm an old man right here.
Yeah.
So, man, and you sounding old as hell too, so it's making me sound old. You're like,
Yeah.
Got an old voice.
Yeah.
Man, lighten up on that voice, Deontay. Hey, man, you're a citizen,
That's way in the
Deontay.
morning.
My man, Boots, man, I can't tell you, man, how proud I am, man. I used to watch you walk to school as a young man. We used to see each other and go to the same high school and we had a moment when we both were on TRL not that long ago.
Yeah.
Looking at each other.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There, it's not random.
Nah.
It's
Nah.
people are driven, making things happen, and we both have work ethics that are gonna make us do something. So we're gonna meet up somewhere.
Yeah, and continue to do it, man. What's next? What's the next project?
Well, as much as I could talk about it, I'm doing a TV show with produced by this dude Michael Ellenberg, who's the dude that brought Game of Thrones to HBO.
Oh.
Wow.
And then I'm writing and directing one episode for Guillermo del Toro's 10 After Midnight. That's his Netflix horror anthology thing. And then I'm writing 2 movies that I can't talk about what they are that I'm going to direct.
I know this is probably not, I don't know how unlikely it is or not, but I would just love to get a conversation with you, Raphael, David, Ryan Coogler, all the young directors that are coming up in the game. All you guys have put some big numbers on the board and just have a forum, just a conversation. That'd be dope.
Yeah, we could do it right here.
Yeah.
Me and Coogler having those conversations all the time, and separately, I didn't even know when I met David, when I thought I met David for the first time at Sundance, he was like, "No, man, we met before. I was in your class. I used to do this art and organizing class at La Pena Cultural Center. So when he was 14, he was in that. So there's a lot of a
lot of synergy.
Rollover. And Coogler's uncle Clarence Thomas, not the bad Clarence Thomas, is you know, a really militant longshoreman that I've been knowing for a long time.
Well, Boots, love you, man. Congratulations,
Thank you.
man. You
Thank
already
you
know,
for
man.
having me.
Every time, man. It's your platform.
All
right.
Yeah. Download it right now.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Sorry to bother you, man. All right, man. Up next, man, we got somebody, a film producer, screenwriter, director. He's been here.
You know what? I'm on your show. I'm sorry to interrupt. We also got a soundtrack. The Coup did the soundtrack to the movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's out right now on Interscope Records, so go check that out.
All right, let's play something. Is this from the soundtrack? Okay, this is yeah.
OYAHYTT. Oh yeah, all right, hell yeah, that's tight.
Okay, there it is. All right, we got George Tillman Jr. up next. You might know him from Soul Food, the series, Barbershop 2, Back in Business, The Beauty Shop, Barbershop, the Notorious film about Notorious B.I.G. He got a new movie, The Hate You Give. 888-742-3345.